How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the channel. We got chapter 28 of Kaiju number 8 today. It was an awesome chapter. Not one of my favorite. That's more for personal reasons, though, not for the fact of whether or not it's a good or bad chapter. So, personally, kind of down there a little bit. Action-wise and everything, cool as hell, awesome, fun to read, but just, like I said, I'm biased. We all have them, and mine's coming out this time. But anyway, we start the chapter off with Kaiju number 10 continuing to grow and grow. I said last time I figured he was either going to blow himself up Cell style, or he was just going to transform anime style. Which, yeah, he's just transforming. He's just growing bigger. Now he's a true Kaiju. Because, I mean, I guess Kaiju's more of just monster, but when you think Kaiju, you think big monster. You think Godzilla style stuff. That's what I think, at least. So, yeah, he's becoming a Kaiju, that's for damn sure. But this actually triggers Kafka's detection ability, even though he's not transformed, which Kafka brings attention to that. He goes, I'm not even transformed yet, it's still activating my detection. So, I guess that's something that goes along with transformation. You know, that kind of seems like something Kafka would be able to do in human form. But I guess his human form usually just shuts all Kaiju power off. Like, he's strictly human when he's in that form, at least usually. But yeah, I guess this is just powerful enough to set it off on its own. And then he actually ends up shooting off a ton of super high heat steam, which really doesn't do anything. I don't really know why that was added into the chapter. It's neat, but didn't do anything. I mean, Hoshina's like, yeah, it was a good idea to take him into the training zone. And then we kind of just moved past it. So who knows? Maybe that'll come up later. Maybe he'll be able to use that to more effect later on in this arc. Or execute, what was it? Extermination, that's what it was. Later on in the extermination, maybe he'll be able to make a little bit more use of that. Because, I mean, it seems like it would be deadly. It's some Attack on Titan type stuff. You just get too close and get blown away and burned by super hot steam coming out. Could be useful. But, with that being said, Hoshina jumps back away from that. He's not getting caught that easily. And we figure out this guy now has a fortitude level of 9.0. One of the highest we've seen in the series, no doubt. Not the highest, though. Kafka's gotten higher than that. So, no matter how bad this looks at the end of the chapter, remember, everybody, Kafka has hit 9.8 fortitude level. So, yeah, Kafka wants to pull that out. Now might be a good time. Assuming that's probably what's going to happen sooner. Either Kafka's going to step up and hit him with a 9.8, or Mina's going to get back from HQ. One or the other. I expect Kafka to have to deal with this. I expect Mina to be gone until this is done. I don't expect a last minute show up. If we get one, I expect that to be Kafka. I am under the assumption that Mina will not be back in time to help with this. Unless, well, it just keeps going on and on and on and on and on, but I doubt that'll happen. One side's gonna die sooner or later. Anyway, Hoshina is actually adapting pretty well to having to fight a giant class Kaiju. This guy wastes no time. Kaiju number 10 just slams straight into the ground, and you see he's massive now. Like, this dude is huge. So he slams down on the ground. Obviously, it's made to look like Hoshina got hit. He didn't. He dodged it, started climbing straight up his arm, threw out a return slasher on the way up his arm just to jump off his shoulder, I believe, turn around and throw another one out. So yeah, he's doing that, and he's starting to adjust to trying to fight a giant class Kaiju, because we know that's not his strong suit. Mina deals with the giant class Kaiju. Hoshina cuts the small ones to pieces. Because remember, small and big doesn't mean weak and strong when it comes to Kaiju. Obviously, like I said, Kafka has hit a 9.8 on the fortitude scale, and he's just your average humanoid Kaiju, like we've seen, like number 9, number 10, before now. They're just a little bit bigger than people. They're not huge, they're not massive, but they're strong as hell. So, yeah, this is not what Hoshina likes to do, But that ain't gonna stop him. He's still going full bore. But even though Hoshin is adapting and doing well, the blades aren't cutting all the way through. Not surprisingly, considering it's a blade like that long and the dude's arm is like 3-4 times the size of this circle. So yeah, it's kind of hard to cut through something so massive with a blade that's this long. It's difficult. So that's one problem. Two problem. He's starting to overheat. So now he's starting to learn about the drawbacks of having your maximum potential unleashed by these suits. You will start to overheat, it will start to damage you, and you can't keep it up forever. Which makes sense. Obviously, you wouldn't want them to go 100% full power, no drawbacks, no nothing. Otherwise, they could literally just always walk onto the scene that has a kaiju there, maximum power unleashed, and just go all out from the start no matter what, and it would kind of just be a slaughter all the time. So we're starting to see the drawbacks, and pretty much Hoshina has 11 minutes. 10 minutes in, he starts to overheat. He can handle overheating for about a minute. So no matter what's happening, this fight's going to end sooner or later. Sooner, not later. And somebody's going to have to win it. So after we realize this, all of a sudden, we have two of the Yoju flying straight at Hoshina, and they're literally suicide bombs now. Kaiju number 10 just waves his hand and sends him forward, and they just fly at Hoshina and explode. Now he's got more stuff to deal with. That's great. And he brings attention to the fact that that's an extremely heartless thing to do. It's some monster shit. It's something a kaiju would do. Because while, yes, they may not be people, they're both kaiju. That is his kind, and he's just using them as suicide bombers. That's real nice. Thanks, Kaiju number 10. You douche. Anyway, Hosha is once again able to avoid that, and he actually comments that it makes a really good smokescreen. So he gets behind him to use his sixth technique. I can't remember that one. I'm going to have to go back and look up what the sixth technique was, if he's named it. I think he did. I think he named it in this fight. But anyway, he was going to use that because the core is still on Kaiju number 10's back. And unfortunately, the core isn't the only thing back there. There's also lots and lots of eyes. He literally has eyes in the back of his head. And he uses that advantage to wreck Hoshina's shit. I really didn't want to say that. I didn't want to say those words. I never wanted to say those words. And now I have to say those words. Kaiju number 10 wrecked Hoshina's shit. Now, maybe if he wasn't overheating, he would have been able to dodge it a little bit. You know, I'm gonna make some excuses for Hoshina. Leave me alone. We all get to make excuses for our favorite character. All right. Anyway, he got literally blasted across what I assume to be the entire training zone. I mean, this was power incarnate. And he doesn't look like he's dead, but Hoshina looks like he's about as close as you can get to being dead without actually being dead. There's very little life in his eyes. He's slumped over. Yeah, it's not looking good. So Kafka's going to have to get there quick, or Mina's going to have to show back up. That's our two options we got right now. Otherwise, things are going to start looking a lot worse very quickly. Shinomiya's been doing great. Shinomiya has been doing awesome in this extermination, Kaiju number 10 likes to call it. But she's not scrapping with number 10. Especially not now. Especially not now that he's huge. She was not scrapping with 10 when he was little. Littler. Not little. She ain't doing nothing now. Sorry, Mina, but it's out of your league. You gotta grow before you get to this level. So, yeah. Kafka's gonna have to find a way to transform. Hopefully without people who don't know what he can do seeing. if it comes down to it, do I think Kafka would transform in front of people? Yes. There's no reason to believe Kafka would let everybody in the 3rd division die just because he doesn't want to transform in front of them. I guarantee he's the type of person that would rather transform in front of them, save them, and then be the enemy and just leave than watch them all die. So, yeah, I think we're getting Kaiju on Kaiju soon, which is kind of to be expected. I kind of wanted to see the Defense Force deal with 10. I wanted to see a win that wasn't from Kaiju number 10, or Kaiju number 8, sorry. But, hey, I'm not going to complain if we get Kaiju on Kaiju. That's part of the reason why I like reading this manga, because I like Kaiju. Alright, I'm done saying that word so many times. But yeah, it was a good action chapter. It gave us a little more detail on how the suits work, especially at the highest levels. So it's always nice to be drip fed a little bit more information that we didn't know previously. And like I said earlier, we got a guy in our back pocket who can hit 9.8 on that fortitude scale. Kaiju number 10's best is 9.0. We got a whole 0.8 left to go. So, pump the brakes on how bad this looks. Okay, let off those brakes on how bad it looks for Hoshina. It looks very bad for Hoshina. But for everybody in general, pump the brakes a little bit. We're alright. We still have our ace in the sleeve. Ace in the hole. Ace up our sleeve. Kind of mix those up a little bit. Hey, it's fine. Screw it. Anyway, I think that's really all we got for this chapter. It wasn't a whole lot of different things happening. It was just kind of Hoshina getting wrecked like 2 times, and that was about it. And yeah, here we are. So I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, like I said earlier, like and subscribe. I'll be keeping more content coming. We got Phantom Seer on Sunday coming out. Unfortunately, we have a break next week. We'll be getting a Kaiju showcase. I might actually start like talking about the Kaiju showcases a little bit. Maybe like combining 3 or 4 of them and talking about the art in them and how much I like it, how much I like different character designs and outfits and all that stuff. Because I remember there's one in particular I remember. It was Kafka, and he had his Kaiju number 8 form on, but you can only see the head because he had his like cleanup crew suit on. So he's just sitting there drinking coffee in the morning as a Kaiju going to work to clean up Kaiju bodies. And I don't know, I love that one. It was funny. I enjoy it. So I do enjoy the Kaiju showcases. Obviously, I enjoy the chapters more. But like I said, I've rambled enough, even though that is kind of just what I do. I'm going to get out of here. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Make sure and stick around the channel for more content. And I'll see you next time. I'm out.